This prehistoric giant rhino was taller than a giraffe. And you can see on the 5 o'clock position of the picture what a rhino of today's size looks like. Isn't that something? The prehistoric mammal had a 3.8-foot long head and stood at about 16 feet tall. The giant rhinoceros roamed Eurasia sometime between 20 million to 35 million years ago. The extinct behemoth stretched over 26 feet long and weighed almost as much as 5 elephants. And now paleontologists have unearthed partial remains of a new species of giant rhino in China, according to a study published last week in the journal Communications Biology. The newly discovered giant rhino, Paraceratherium lynxianus, is the 6th species of hornless rhino found in Asia. The remains may help paleontologists explain the origins of the ancient rhinos, their range across Eurasia, and how they evolved, reports Carly Casella for Science Alert. Giant rhinos are thought to be the largest land mammals to ever live. Their fossils have been found all across Asia, including China, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and Pakistan, reports George Dvorsky for Gizmodo. However, their dispersal throughout Asia is not fully understood. 2 individual giant rhinos were unearthed in 2015 from late Oligocene deposits that date to 26.5 million years ago in the Lingxia Basin in China, an area known for its abundance in fossils. The fossils include a skull, mandible, and several spinal vertebrae, reports Gizmodo. Tao Deng, a paleontologist at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and his team used laser scans to create 3D reconstructions of the ancient beasts from their remains. The prehistoric beast stood nearly 16 feet tall, on 4 bony legs similar to giraffes, and weighed between 11 to 20 metric tons, which is equivalent to about 3 to 5 African elephants, Science Alert reports. And based on the size of the skull, the rhino had a long, thin neck, a deeper nasal cavity, and a short trunk similar to that of the modern-day tapir, reports the BBC. The vertebrate fossil suggests that the new species had a more flexible neck than other species of giant rhinoceros, the researchers explained in their statement. Dan suggests that the rhino's thin legs were great for running, and its head could reach the highest levels from the treetops, Gizmodo reports. After further analysis, the scientists also found that the new species was closely related to a giant rhino that lived in Pakistan, Paraceratherium buktiens, suggesting that it migrated across Central Asia at one point, per BBC. During the early Oligocene, the climate around Central Asia was arid, while South Asia was more humid and filled with a patchwork of open landscape and green forests, reports Tom Metcalf for NBC News. The giant rhino likely migrated to South Asia in search for food to fill their bellies, and then during the late Oligocene, the rhinos ventured back northward when the climate changed again and Central Asia was no longer arid. The trail of various giant rhino fossils suggests they migrated from the Mongolian plateau into northwest China and Kazakhstan, and then down through Tibet into Pakistan, Science Alert reports. Overall, this route implies that the Tibetan region was not the high elevation plateau riddled with mountains that it is today. Instead, it likely had some lowlands and mammals could pass through millions of years ago. Animal migration is linked to climate change, so 31 million years ago, when the Mongolian plateau dried up, they moved south, Deng said to CNN Jack Guy and Zichu Wang. The fossils currently reside in the Hezheng Paleological Museum in north-central Gansu province in China. In future studies, Deng and his team hope to reconstruct the rhino's muscles to get a more accurate estimate of the mammal's body mass. And this is on Collective Spark by Elizabeth Gamilo from Smithsonian Magazine. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.